G'day, this is just a quick look at Darks. This was a couple of years ago, I think. Perfect flying conditions. Anyway, it's just a good old-fashioned 100 mile an hour beat up, which is what this thing does straight and level, the old Texan. And a few classic pattern manoeuvres thrown in, which, given it has a flat bottom wing section, it does surprisingly well. It's the beauty of modern ARF models, the wing loadings are relatively low. There's a few different ways of doing a beat up, but I like to do the way that Ivan Christensen showed me back in the 80s when he was in Australia. And this isn't one of them, but you do it for 100 metres or so, maybe a metre above the ground, just with the gear up. And it's something that's always just stuck in my mind after watching that. I thought, oh gee, I'd like to be able to do that. So this is sort of the thing. That's still a couple of metres up. Anyway, it's a great old model. This has been going since I think 2009. And yeah, it becomes screaming down the runway. Bit of a 4-pointer. Bit hard to hold the last point on this one, but it does a surprisingly good job really. Anyway, sometimes if you watch inside the canopy when there's a bit of negative G, there's a bit of stuff that floats around. So that's what we're talking about. So you don't need to do an inverted beat up with this, just it looks pretty good with the gear up. If you've got a fixed gear model, you've got to do it inverted, because it just doesn't look very good otherwise. Yeah, that was one of my better ones. Managed to keep the roll rate pretty constant throughout that, because anyone that's tried slow rolls will know that when you apply the top rudder in the last point, it starts to speed the roll rate up, so you've got to back off the aileron a little bit. And you've got to get some down elevator in too, otherwise it just pitches nose up. And I think we're just going to do a couple of spins here. 3-turn spins, the odd FAI sort of thing. I lost count then, I think that was 3. And you've got to pull out at the same heading, lower altitude of course. I remember Dad in a competition once did a spin and it caught a thermal, it went up, and the judges didn't know what to do, so they gave him a 0, which it doesn't actually say it's got to come down. It just says you've got to do 3 rotations and come out on heading. Anyway, another couple of passes and I think we're done. Oh no, I'm going to try an 8-pointer. Oops. Yeah, you can see I lost heading there, so that'd score pretty crappily really. Anyway, gear down, we're coming in. Anyway, but the next big day at the club's the Darks, the scratch built kit rally, which is a really good idea. And it won't be being this of course because it's an ARF, but I should have that Spitfire all fixed up and ready going by then. If not, I'll see you down the field soon, once we get out of lockdown. And I'm just taxiing back to clear the runway. And this aeroplane's in for its 100 hourly at the moment. That's what I'm doing during COVID, is I'm just working through all my planes. So this one's a bit down the list and just needs a bit of a spruce up. Anyway, great model, Seagull Texan ARF, excellent plane. See you at the field.